Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're grabbing our detective hats because we're about to investigate how a single chapter of a beloved book masterfully builds a world-shattering mystery. We are deconstructing Chapter 2 of The Lightning Thief, Three Old Ladies Knit the Socks of Death.
So right out of the gate, the chapter throws our hero, Percy Jackson, into a situation that is so unsettling it makes you question reality itself. I mean, just imagine for a second. You see something completely impossible, something that changes your whole world, and then the very next day, everyone acts like it never, ever happened.
And right there, that's the central mystery. In the last chapter, Percy literally vaporized his pre-algebra teacher, Mrs. Dodds, who, turned out to be a winged monster. But now, he's the only person who even remembers her. It's like his reality has a major glitch, and he's starting to think, am I going crazy?
So, how does the author get us to feel Percy's confusion so deeply? Well, it's done with this really clever technique that puts us right there inside Percy's head, completely isolating him and making his confusion our own.
The chapter immediately plunges us into Percy's, let's be honest, pretty unstable point of view. And this is just a brilliant move because it turns us, the reader, into a co-conspirator. We know he's not crazy. We know what he saw was real. And that makes the gaslighting from the world around him so much more frustrating and way more suspenseful. We are right there with him, digging for the truth.
But here's the thing. Percy isn't entirely alone. Some people definitely know the truth. They're just not talking. And this brings us to our first major clue in the case file, the secret keepers.
Instead of giving him any straight answers, the adults in Percy's life are actively hiding the truth. His favorite teacher, Mr. Brunner, pretty much confirms something is up, but then just shuts the whole conversation down. And this is such a classic move in storytelling to build that suspense.
This creates this really powerful effect where we, the audience, feel completely helpless right there with Percy. We know a monster attack happened, but he's being left totally in the dark. And that gap, that space between what we know and what the character knows, that's a tool called dramatic irony, and it is absolutely brilliant for cranking up the tension. And then his best friend, Grover, drops this absolute bombshell while he's talking to Mr. Brunner. This one little line of dialogue is a massive clue. It tells us that Percy is in active danger, and it's a danger the adults didn't just know about, they anticipated it. Suddenly, the school wasn't just a school anymore, it was supposed to be a safe house.
But the secrets don't just stop at the school doors. Oh no. Our next clue is what takes this whole mystery from being a personal problem to something ancient. This is the moment the story pivots from just strange to truly mythic.
So Percy's bus breaks down, and he sees this totally bizarre scene. It feels completely random, almost like a dream. But listen, in a mystery this well crafted, there are no random details. This right here is a huge piece of evidence, even if Percy doesn't get it yet, but we can analyze it.
They aren't just any three women. They represent the Moirai, or, as you might know them, the Fates from Greek mythology. And in those myths, they have a very specific job. They spin the thread of every mortal's life, and when they're ready, they pull out their shears and snip the thread, ending that life. And what does Percy see? He watches them cut a thread, right as they're looking directly at him. Chilling.
This direct reference is a classic literary tool called a mythological allusion. By weaving these ancient, all-powerful figures into a modern story, the author just raises the stakes to a whole new level. All of a sudden, this isn't just about a kid and a single monster. This suggests Percy's destiny is tied to cosmic forces way beyond anyone's control.
Okay, but cosmic forces and ancient myths, they only really matter if we care about the person caught in the middle of it all, right? For any mystery to really hit home, we have to understand what's at stake. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important clue, Percy's reason to fight. The chapter draws this really stark contrast between Percy's amazing, loving, supportive mom, Sally, and his absolutely vile, abusive stepfather, Gabe. Sally is his entire world. She's the person he adores. And this right here establishes the emotional core for the whole series. Percy isn't just fighting to solve a mystery or to save himself. He's fighting for her.
Okay, let's put all the evidence on the table. We've got Percy's psychological confusion, the secretive adults who know way more than they're letting on, these ominous mythological symbols, and the powerful emotional stakes. When you put all those clues together, they point to one single, terrifying conclusion. Percy's entire world is a carefully constructed lie.
When you lay it out like this, you can actually see the author's recipe for suspense. It's a deliberate structure. All these literary techniques are working together seamlessly to achieve one really scary takeaway for Percy and for us.
So, what this all really boils down to is that the true danger in this chapter isn't just another monster popping up. No, it's the psychological horror of realizing that the people closest to you, the ones who are supposed to protect you, are actually part of the conspiracy. His reality isn't just glitching, it's a total illusion, and these terrifying cosmic forces are already pulling the strings of his future.
And that brings us to the chapter's most chilling, lingering question. When Percy saw those shears snip that yarn, he was literally witnessing a death warrant being signed. The only question is, whose was it? It's the perfect hook, and it leaves you desperate to find out what happens next.